All right, so like I said, we'd be talking about a couple trades we took, just so you guys learn a thing or two, right? As well as the orb indicator. I figure I knocked them all out in one video. You know, scratch that. We'll just talk about the trades first, and then we'll talk about the orb indicator. We're gonna go over Apple. We're gonna go over Tesla, and then the HIMS trade I promised I'd talk about for one of the members a while ago. Okay. First, Apple. Remember, first things first. The higher the time frame, the stronger the levels, right? So 30 minutes. You can do day, you can do hour. I want everybody to notice, right? Supply and demand. Supply and demand is basically where you notice a aggressive demand is where you notice an aggressive amount of buying. Supply is when you notice an aggressive amount of selling, right? They're supplying it, selling, they're demanding it, they're buying it, right? Apple had an aggressive amount of buying down here. Literally right at this flag before this big candle here was the exact support for where it touched twice, right? Around 2017, 2019, yeah, 202, right? Your confirmation for this trade was this second bottom here. It even came down and almost tried to retest, and then it gapped. But I would have bought in here anyway, held. You can cut if it breaks. Again, low risk, high reward is just cutting if it breaks this, right? That's why it's low risk, because again, you buy in here, you cut if it breaks it. So literally here, right? Whereas you have all this other room up here. And I should have noticed this. I should have taken it. Second thing we'll talk about is the puts we took, right? Look at this flag over here, right? These are just regular basic support and resistance levels, okay? The flag, you can see it comes up, it retests right here, and then it tests again, and then it tests again, and then here, look, big candle, big wick up top, which is for one an indication of sellers, right? It did not want to go up, and then again, down here as well, basically touching the same support, and then breaks. That first candle breaks, that second candle, momentum. This is what I'm talking about with momentum as well. Momentum, 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 right? Does that make sense? And again, the third thing, right? So this day, this was Wednesday over here, right? And then Thursday, we noticed above. I sent that message out on Thursday night, right? Saying, fuck, Apple's probably going to run, right? Next day, I forget to look at it. So again, we grabbed it around 224. And then again, it is just free over here, right? So let's take a look. Again, I put my support here because this is the close of the candles, but really you want to wait until above the wicks, right? You can see how the top of this wick is actually closer to the bottom of this wick, right? But I literally put this level here before I saw over here, right? The close of these candles is literally the top of this wick, right? Next day, it gaps up. It is free. You can see on the 30-minute, the past few weeks, it's above these levels that it's been rejecting, right? So let's take a look at the daily. Let's see where our last levels were all the way over here. Look at this. So this is the daily. This is way back in March, right? We haven't been up at these levels since March, right? And again, these are the levels we drew. And look how perfectly it is on the daily as well, right? Boom, boom. Yeah, and off this box here. Perfect. Yeah? And then you can see with momentum, right, you get the flag. You get the gap up above this blue line, above this resistance, right? Which we could not break for the past, 2-3 weeks. Even over here, right? Back in April. We break up, we flag, we hold it, we even get a wick down to almost test that blue line. The next day, like I said, right above 217, which literally is, these levels right here on top of these wicks over here, right? 217. You're going, and 216.5 was about it. You're going up, right? And I said at least 225 because this is the top of these levels here, 225, right? You got above 225 with momentum like we had on Friday, one single day, right? Running $10. It tries for that 230, bottom of these wicks are 230, right? Again, this is why I'm saying we might see 240 because, with momentum, we're kind of clear. We can come all the way up to, 250 might be a little ambitious, but again, 240 right here, top of these wicks. Yeah? Does that make sense to everybody? Okay? Momentum as well. I want you to look for momentum. Days with these big candles are momentum, right? Full body candles, momentum. Yeah? All right. We'll go look at Tesla next. Tesla's easy to look at. So, again, we're just going to talk about, let's take a look on the 5 first. I haven't done anything with Tesla yet. Actually, we're going to need to go to 30 then, maybe. Let's see. Yeah, all right, here we go. Again, we've had this little downtrend. You can see starting up here, going down this way, up here, down this way, right? Let me try to draw that really quick. Actually, it's kind of touching perfectly, right? Just about. but I took it for a different reason. So, I mean, again, you could have drawn this trend line and saw, right? Hold on, one more. Let's draw just this one straight down here. You can see it breaks here, and again, that first trend break is a huge green candle, right? Flags up, it holds this flag, which around here. If we brought the 5 minute, you could probably see it. Wait. Again, you could see these wicks here, right? It builds a little support, right? Again, right above the flag. Like this is the flag here, up here, right? And yeah, it just bounces right off of it. And again, once you have momentum, this was Friday morning. You see that first green candle? That second one flags right above this wick as well. Look at that as well. Look, that first candle stops right there. That second candle, just all momentum, yeah? So again, at 325, I said we probably have room to 330, which the highest of these candles is actually like 333. The closes, yeah. I guess you could have gone, yeah, we did go up to 335, which would have been like the high. I would have targeted, just 330, which is like top of this. And then, yeah, 333 probably would have been overall target. And then 335 highs, right? Which is, again, what we got up to pretty much, which is these wicks up here. And, we're pretty much, we might bounce a little on Monday, and watch, we'll test this blue line. If we break out of this is what I've been saying as well. If we break out of this area on Tesla could see 350 in a single day, easily, right? Get up to these next levels, like up here, right? 357, even up here, 370. Yeah? And again, you can see this is a big triangle for Tesla as well that it's been in. All right, and God, the last one I want to talk about is HIMS, right? So first of all, I said it was a clear swing to somebody in the group on this day, right? You can see right at the end of the day, right? 29th of July, right at close, it broke above this resistance, this flag, right? And you can see it had a clear gap, yeah? All the way up to about 65. You can see that's exactly the next day where it flagged up to, right? Easy swing. More importantly, you could have swung it before that, right? This day, midday on the 23rd, right? Yeah, 23rd. It breaks above this level here and is in the gap, right? But you could have really just taken it at any of these points, right? Anywhere in here. Your confirmation especially is this double bottom, which is right at, the top of this gap. But especially, we've talked about this so many times, guys, right? Momentum. You see 1, 2, 3, 4 full body green candles, right? It's a good sign, okay? It's a good sign. It's likely going to test this next level, which you could see it doesn't just, touch here, right? This candle up here, this candle up here, this candle up here. But there's one thing I want to talk about. You could also see over here, right? The 50, right? As soon as it breaks under the 50 on the 30 minute, it's down, and also momentum there as well. But I want to talk about another sign for puts where we could have taken puts. Okay, the 5 minute. All right. On the 29th or the 30th. Wait, is it the 5 minute? Wait. I don't think it actually is the 5 minute. Hold on. No, the daily. What am I talking about? Daily. Duh. Look at this. I want everybody to see this. Okay, come on now. Like, it's so slow, dude. Look at this doji candle, right? This had a high of, 75 or whatever, right? And again, all day, it was up here. I remember it was like flagging. Looking like maybe it might break out. But no. At the end of the day, it closes red. This opened at like 66.2 and then closed at 66.15, right? And had a high of 70.5. This is bearish all day, especially since this close is, again, look at this right here. This close right here is under this wick over here. The same wick. This one over here. Same thing, right? Again, this is so slow. Maybe a little bit above this wick. But this wick, right? You could see 3 wicks and they came down each time. This is what I was talking about, right? If HIMS breaks above 66 with momentum, and remember, the higher the time frame, the better the support, the better the action, etc. If it holds above 66, it could see 80, right? It's clear, it's free. more like 67, 68, 70, right? If it held above, like right around that 70 area all day, I probably would have said, go ahead and continue with the swings upward, right? But no, by the end of the day, this thing closed red, right? All right, sorry about that. Anyway, closed red and rejected some of those same spots. All day, every day, this is puts, okay? That's just one thing we missed. So yeah, always keep an eye out for that, especially like look at this, look at that. You got multiple areas. And again, next day you could even see right under, right, wick above, could not hold that. Rejected it, came down, closed there. You could see the next 2 days, right, same thing, inside candle, and then boom, big wick down, right? Again, rejecting this area again. Like this is, people would say this is slightly bullish, but it's not. This is a bearish candle here. This wick is huge. Even though it closed green, this is still bearish, right? And again, you can see the next day, full body candle, opening at 55, going all the way down to about 50, right? Which I talked about a while ago with HIMS, right? When I had that break down into the gap and then hit like down to the 40s, like right around here, I think it was, right? Yep. And it could have seen, if it had momentum, 25s, 30s, right? It didn't. It eventually found support and bounced back up. And then, you see all this action, big green candle here, finally back at the top, rejects again. We could see, again, down to these same levels of 40, right? Or even 30. So just keep your eye out for momentum. Again, look, it's holding here. We could see a bounce here. You actually can even see like kind of a trend going here. But yeah, again, that doji, that rejection, something we missed. And that swing you can see on this day, that's the daily, it closed right above that flag of these two previous days. And then the next day, just an absolute full body green candle. So swing most of the time calls on this candle here, this close here, and swing puts when you see this shit, okay? And again, it's a super easy cut, right? If it breaks back above, just cut it. Low risk, high reward. Anyway, that does it for today's, breakdown of those 3 plays, right? I'm going to make the orb video. I know it's getting late. But anyway, trade safe, stay safe, and have a good night.